Hello everyone, this is Chanda. Welcome to my channel Chanda Ravi. Library science. What is this? This is a subject which is very interesting for those who are giving their career, who are thinking like we have to do some other things. If they don't want to do the same pattern like these days, people what they are doing, they just choose any like any science pattern, like any art subject, science subject, and they want to be doctor, they want to be engineer, something like that. There are lots of subjects where in our plate, but you know that many few people they think like, okay, let's make our career with this subject. That's why always say that it is a unique thing study this kind of subject, and if you study this subject you feel very you feel emotional bonding between the books and you. It will connect you with books, and it's a good thing. Like if we study, like if engineers, what they do, they study their instrument and mechanical something electrical things and something like that. But in library science you study all subjects, like whether it would be like science, whether it would be like arts, whether it would be like literature, everything we have to study. We have to manage those books in library, and there are some rules, there are some regulations, like how do you manage these kind of books in the library. So you have to study these things. Also you can make them understand, make your students understand, what is those things, what is these things, what is the right way to find out our books, and what is the right way to find out our answer of any questions. So if you want to know these kind of things, you have to study. You should think about it like study library science. And I am professor with this subject, and I have been teaching for 8 years. It's and I many times I feel very I feel like comfortable. I don't feel like I'm doing some other things, or swim, or teaching other thing. I always think like I teach my students something like peculiar type of things. I must say peculiar type, because when I went, I just want to share something. Once I went outside, and one person, still I still remember, they asked like, okay, what do you do? And I said like, I teach my student. Okay, I teach my student. And they said, what do you teach? And I said, library science. Is this a subject? Yes. And I said, yes, it is a subject, and I teach that subject. And they started laughing. And what do you do with this subject? And I said, I studied a lot, and I teach them that like in physics, like in chemistry, like in botany, what you do, you just study their plants. There are lots of plants, the divisions like bryophyta, algae, fungi, and there are lots of chapters, lots of things are there. Something like in library science we study about how do you manage your books, how do you make them arrange, like how do you teach your student, like how they study, how they can manage their books in library. And also there are lots of opportunity. If you study this subject, there are lots of opportunity. You can make your career as a librarian, you can make your career like as a professor, like I am doing, like I am a professor right now. So it's up to you what you want to do. It depends on you. Just I want to say but I find difficulties when some people say like, if you are a professor with this subject, so why don't you teach them in Hindi medium? And I said, yes, I teach them in Hindi medium. My students, they don't understand English language. They always feel difficulties. Even if I talk about today, I was using some word, and some students were unable to understand. They were saying, we don't understand. And I said, because, and when I tried to make them understand in Hindi language, I felt very uncomfortable thing. And I said them that you have to learn these things in English medium. There are lots of sources in the Google or somewhere, lots of books are only in English medium. They don't exist, that subject don't exist any book in Hindi language. There are very few books, so I was making them understand, like if you want to make your career in this field, you should start learning this subject with English medium, so that you can get lots of opportunity in future. Otherwise you will be struggling. So you should start a study, you should start learning with English medium only, and but they don't say anything. I understood their problem, and I taught them in Hindi medium, obviously. But what can I do? It's I must say it's it's my compulsion to teach them in Hindi medium. Yeah. Uh, but some people say, like, why are you saying like that? Hindi is our like national language. But they don't know the things, like Hindi is not our national language. There are 22, I don't know whether it would be 22 or 3 or 40, I don't know, like among those languages, like many languages are registered in our constitution, and we cannot say like the particular language is our national language. There are many languages like registered in our constitution. So they have their delusion that Hindi is our national language, but nothing. I haven't found that like that, like Hindi is our national language. There are lots of language in India which is spoken, like Tamil, Telugu, like Malayalam. Lots of languages are there. And if I talk about English language, it's like lingua franca nowadays, universal language. If you are speaking with this language, you are illiterate. You are illiterate. If you are not speaking, you are illiterate. It's a right, It's a demand of our time. No matter how much degrees you have, if you are not speaking in English, people don't take you seriously. They think like you don't know anything. You are illiterate person. It's a very I must say it's a truth of our society. Initially I was not like that. I was unable to understand, yeah, English language. I felt difficulty. I many times I felt difficulties many times to understand this language. But I thought, okay, I can write in English, and I wrote my exam in English language. My books are only in English medium, and I understand each and every lines of English medium. So why I'm not able to speak, why so? I thought it like, and I took it as a challenge, and I thought, no, anyhow I have to learn this language. I have to speak. If I speak, only people make you, like, only people take you seriously. Otherwise they would be feeling like, you don't know anything, you have to study a lot. And even if you have lots of degree, they think like you are like illiterate. Yeah, something like that. That's why I started speaking. And I started speaking. Then I thought, like, initially I felt difficulty, but after that I I'm just, I was like, I used to speak this language, and now I can speak. I'm not saying like I'm perfect, I'm not doing mistake. Maybe might have done lots of mistake. It happens, mistakes are our parts. It doesn't mean like you should stop learning or stop speaking this language. It's not good. My son, if I talk about my son, he also says like, whenever sentence he speaks, and I say like, you did here and there mistakes, and he said like, okay, I'm not going to say further. And then I felt many times, if someone is speaking in English, you don't need to say like, you did here and there mistake. It will break their confidence, like I felt many times. That's why I don't do like that. Whenever my son speaks even a single word, I know even if it is wrong, I say like, yeah, you did great, very good. Just keep saying like that. Just keep using English word. It's a good thing. So then he he feels like, yeah, mommy is encouraging me, that means I have to speak this, like I am able to speak this language. It's not like overconfidence I'm giving him. It's like I am just boosting him to speak in English language, it's a good thing. So I was just giving the examples, like if somebody just speaking in English, you don't need to judge them. You just encourage them so that they can speak again. Otherwise they won't speak even a single line. So you should encourage them. You should say like, yeah, you did great, you are speaking, wow, great. And then they think, oh, I can speak. So I according to them I can speak, I will speak definitely. And then they start speaking or start learning this language. I think this is the right way. And one thing I have to say, like, you don't need to take any classes for learning this language. They will take only lots of money from you, and they don't make you perfect. Like, nobody is perfect in English. If you are speaking, you are doing. If you are speaking, you are doing. You are in um, you are in, like, your way of speaking is just you are in fluent way. If you are not speaking, you are nothing, but they don't think like that. They just sell their courses, and they just make their money doing this kind of things. So you should stop doing this kind of things. Don't listen them. Don't make anyone, don't follow anyone. Just think about you. No one is going to help you. It's a truth. It's a it's a very truth. I felt many times, like, you don't need to go anywhere or anyone that please teach me, I have to speak. Don't say like that. You can do, you have to do. And I think you should do, because it is the you, and only you can do anything. No one is there with you to do anything. If you came here alone, you have to go alone. You know that universal truth. That's why it applies on anywhere. Like, if you are speaking, only you are speaking. No one is with you. No one is making you perfect. You are making your effort. That's why you're speaking. And that's why I said, yeah, mistakes are our part of life. So you should speak and speak and speak. Never stop doing this kind of things. Okay, bye for today. I had to speak these lines, and I spoke very well. I know that I did mistake. It happens. Who cares? And if anyone say like, yeah, she did here and there mistakes, then stop thinking like that. I don't take it seriously. I just speak what I want to speak. Okay, just I have to say bye. I will discuss another topic next video. Bye bye.